I genuinely wished somebody sat me down at 18 and explained how money actually works. Not the fake internet version, not the buy my course and become a millionaire by next Tuesday version. I mean real life. Because when you're 18, nobody teaches you anything useful about money. You graduate high school knowing the mitochondria of the power health of the cell, or the Pythagorean theorem. But somehow, nobody teaches you how credit works, how investing works, and how taxes work. Or why buying food on Uber Eats every night somehow turns your bank account into a crime scene. And look, I'm learning too. I don't have everything figured out, but there are a lot of money lessons I learned early that completely changed how I see life. Spending, saving, investing, and even happiness. And honestly, if I understood these things at 18, I probably would have stressed way less. So, if you're young right now, or honestly, even if you're older and trying to reset your life financially, this video might genuinely help you. To me, this probably was the biggest lesson. Nobody is coming to save you financially. Not your job, not the government, not your favorite influencer pretending to be rich in a rented Lamborghini. You have to care about your financial future because money problems don't magically disappear with age. In fact, most adults are basically just stressed teenagers with bills. And the scary part nobody tells you, at 18, I thought adults had everything figured out. Now I realize half of the world is just improvising with confidence. And honestly, that made me feel better because you don't have to be perfect. You just need to start learning early than most people. That alone puts you ahead. I used to think it's only $5, and technically, yeah, $5 isn't destroying your future, but repeating that mindset every single day absolutely can. Coffee here, fast food there, random online purchases at 1 a.m. because you suddenly need LED lights for your room. And somehow your paycheck disappears like a magician performing a ritual on your debit card. The scary thing about money is that bad spending usually feel good immediately. That's why it's dangerous. Now, of course, I'm still buying things I enjoy. I'm not trying to become the monk of personal finance. I'm still getting Starbucks sometimes, still buying food sometimes. I still enjoy life. But now I think differently. Instead of only asking, can I afford this? I ask, is this worth repeating? Because that's actually what matters. One expensive purchase won't ruin you. Repeating habits will. That mindset changes everything for me. This is something I really wish I understood earlier. Saving money is important, but investing is what creates freedom long term. Because inflation is basically your money losing value slowly while pretending everything is fine. You save money for security, you invest money for growth. Both matter. At 18, I started becoming obsessed with personal finance and books. And honestly, that changed my entire mindset. Instead of seeing money as something to spend immediately, I started seeing money as workers. I started seeing money as workers. Every dollar could either leave forever or potentially come back with friends. That sounds weird, but that's literally investing. And no, you do not need thousands to start. Believe me, I started with literally, I think I could go to my Robinhood account. Back then, it had like $37. But anyways, back to the video. That's one of the biggest lies people believe. Even investing a few dollars consistently changes the way I thought, because the habits matter more than the amount in the beginning. Most people wait until they make more money, but usually the people who manage money well at low income levels manage it even better than high income levels. Of course, the opposite is true. Look, if someone can't control spending $2,000 a month, more money usually just creates bigger and bad decisions. This lesson is underrated. Your environment affects your money more than motivation does. If everyone around you spends recklessly, you probably do the same. If your entire social media feed is luxury lifestyle, You will consistently feel behind. That's dangerous because comparison destroys financial peace. You start buying things you don't even want to impress people you genuinely don't care. And social media makes it worse. Some people online are rich, some are lying, and some are honest. Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference anymore. That's why I stopped comparing my chapter 2 to someone else's chapter 20. I started focusing on saving, investing, learning a new skill, and building stability. Not trying to look rich, because looking rich and being financially stable are completely different things. A lot of broke people look successful online. Remember that. Nobody explains this properly. Credit cards are a tool, not free money. And companies love when people are impulse because impulse make more money. If you treat credit cards emotionally, they become a trap. If you treat them strategically, they become useful. That's the difference. Now let's use a random example for credit cards. I used to think I'll pay it for later. Dangerous sentence right there. The sentence has destroyed millions of bank accounts. Now I use credit card differently. I treat it like a debit card. If I can't afford it right now, I probably shouldn't buy it. Simple. And building good credit early genuinely matters. Future apartments, cars, loans, interest rates. Your financial habits follow your adulthood whether you like it or not, which honestly feels unfair, but that's reality. This one changed my mindset completely. Most people don't feel stressed because they're broke. They feel stressed because they don't know what's happening. No budgeting, no tracking, no planning. That uncertainty creates anxiety. And trust me, avoiding your bank account does not make the numbers less real. Most people have tried this strategy before, but didn't work. Wow. Shocking, right? Look, once you start tracking your spending, everything becomes much clearer. Not perfect, just clear. A clarity reduces stress. You stop feeling like money is controlling your life. Instead, you're controlling your money. That shift is powerful. One of the smartest things you can do young is learn valuable skills. Not just for money, but for confidence. Editing, designing, sales, writing, marketing, coding, content creation. Look, the internet changed everything. There are teenagers making money from skills that didn't even exist 10 years ago. That's insane. Most people spend years consuming content instead of building skills. Entertainment all day, no creation. And look, resting is important. But if every single day ends in the same way, scrolling, watching, consuming, complaining, eventually years pass, and that's terrifying. Learning skills gives you leverage, and leverage creates opportunities. That's why I became obsessed with learning online business, content creation, and personal finance. Not because I knew everything, but because I knew ignorance was expensive. This might be the biggest lesson of all. Money does matter. People online love pretending it doesn't, but financial stress affects everything. However, after basic security, money becomes more about peace than flexing. Peace of mind, freedom, options, less anxiety, being able to handle emergencies, being able to help your family, being able to breathe without panicking every month. That's real wealth to me. Not just renting Lamborghinis and posting them on Instagram or TikTok. And honestly, the older I get, the more I realize peace is probably the most valuable thing you can buy yourself. So, what are the money lessons I wish I learned at 18? Probably this: small habits matter, consistency matters, patience matters, learning matters, and your finance life can genuinely change if you start paying attention earlier. You do not need to become rich overnight. You do not need to become some finance guru. You just need better systems, better habits, better awareness, but most importantly, better knowledge. That's it. Because money is less about being perfect and more about avoiding self-destruction long term. And honestly, that applies to life too. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more videos about mindset, personal finance, self-improvement, motivation, habits. Hey, comment below. Hopefully this video helped you out. All right, take care. See you guys in the next video.